Okay, so now we are on air. Hello, Jasmine.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Good.
Good. Okay. So I'm not quite sure about the topics that we will be discussing. Are we going to be discussing about the project one, or are we going to compare our answers about the case study, or both?
I don't know what you guys went over. I just know now what we picked by. So I'm not really prepared yet. I have to do my assignment for the discussion board tonight.
Okay. Well, as I read, we are supposed to discuss about the projects.
Okay.
So don't worry, you have not prepared for the discussion boards, because in this meeting we have to discuss about what we have to do for the project to be ready for week 6. That actually we are really closer. 2 weeks more, and we are in week 5. I'm sorry. So I just want to go to the resources tab in right space, because there we have the information about project 3, about the first project. Also, I'm not sure if you had the chance to look up the examples that Bro Palmer, I think he is, that he sent this week. He sent the example for the project 1, 2, and 3, and I kind of read those, and we have a lot of things to do.
Yes.
Have you had the chance to review those projects examples?
Yeah, I just took a look at the first project. We have 5 sections. We have the executive summary, the product, service, consumer behavior insights. We have some things I wanted to do there. We have the competitive environment. We have the market segmentation, targeting and positioning. And lastly, consumer validation.
That's right. So in these meetings we are supposed to talk about what we have to do to prepare the paper on each of these points that you just read, Kevin.
Okay.
Is it Irving in the meeting?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Irving.
I'm listening. Hi, hey, man.
Good. So, okay. So if you want, we all can go over each of the points that Kevin just read, just to be clear what we have to do. And then after that, if you want, we can decide some task that we can assign each other. For example, today I had the chance to finally find the drink in the store, because I have looked for that one different times, and finally today I got access to that one. So I forgot to take a picture of the shelves because it was a lot of drinks there, but I have the chance to do so. But that information is useless if we don't have a clear understanding of what we have to do. And after reading this, I think that we can set up specific assignments. So each member of the group can work on these specific assignments and then come together to this meeting to share what we have learned. And also we can prepare a shared folder in Google Drive, so we can upload all the information we're working on into the Google Drive.
Okay. Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay. What do you think, Lisa?
That's great.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, right now you should be watching my screen. Are you watching my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I also want to open, just let me go very quickly to the examples that brother sent this week, because I kind of like to compare what we have to do with what other team have already done. Okay. Just give me 1 second more. Okay, it's loading. Okay, in the meantime that the Word opens. So it says that executive summary. It says that if you want, we can read a paragraph, each one of us. So,
Sure.
okay. It says that executive summary, there should be no more than 2 paragraphs, but it needs to succinctly, I don't know how to pronounce this word, summarize the rest of the proposal. Include a brief description of the product or service itself, who you are who you are targeting, what the response has been from that target through market research, and what you think the brand positioning should be. Now, I don't know why this is taking so much, and actually why this open other thing. Because I just want to see the example that the brother sent us, so we can see like the real thing that we have to do. Because when I read the executive summary description, I thought that it was a huge task, but it is not actually. Okay, this is the example we have from the last class. Okay, I'm sorry for the delay. Okay, I'm ready. So here is example of the executive summary. As it says, 2 paragraphs that we have to disclose um, the rest of the proposal. So what they are going to find. So a brief description of the product service itself. So we have to talk about the drinks, why the drinks are different. I have read different articles in Forbes about this brand. So we have a good and really remarkable brand to work on. So that is the first step. So I think that this executive summary has to be built until the end after we have all the information. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, so who wants to read the second point?
Can go with that one. Says product and service consumer behavior insights. This section will apply concepts from lesson 2 to your focus business. It should include the evoked set of brands or companies most people consider when deciding between your focus business and other similar brands they may compare against. The main attributes or criteria that consumers use when deciding between your focus business and its competitors. The psychological motives or needs that this particular product or service can satisfy. Consider Maslow's hierarchy of needs and other possible needs. The importance of social influence in the decision to buy, not buy your focus business product. Identify the social forces that might have an impact. The types of self-identity, personality, or lifestyle the brand currently appeals to, and then current consumer attributes about your focus businesses will be used in your SWOT analysis below. So we need to answer these questions based on the brand we just chose. We need to and this was kind of the questions that the first discussion board was asking us for this week to
Yes, I was
answer,
writing
in which
that.
hierarchy will position this, what the social forces are, what would happen with the competitors. I think just to do a little bit more research about this, and we can answer these questions as a group.
Yeah.
So guys, I have an idea. So why don't we do a small survey with our friends? Okay, can be like one family member, one friend, one like a friend from church. So what do they think about this kind of drinks? You know what I mean? So I mean, I mean, like we can have like a very clear way to see how we target the product, because everything is about making this project and like a pretty much giving them some kind of like ideas how we can we target the product, plus how can we increase the distribution channel. So what do you guys think?
I
With
do like
Well,
that idea.
that's fine, but what about lesson 6 when it says individually conduct 5 interviews?
Yes, that's number 5 of this project because it's the consumer validation. So we need to build our hypothesis based on something. So it gives us 4 bullet points advising us that each of us must address 5 interviews about what you were saying, Irving. So we need to actually each one of us have 5 interviews being addressed based on the points that we have in number 2, 1, and number 3. So we need to address our interviews based on the first 3 points that we just discussed, and then we can build a hypothesis.
All right.
Okay, understand. So yes, because I thought the same because of the example, consumer insights here for ultimate years,
Mm-hmm.
because they build that as a survey that they made. So what we have to do is to basically build this second point with the information we have from this week lesson. And I think that the discussion board will help us to summarize all the information and compare each
Oh,
other
okay. All
answers.
right. So guys, pretty much, the consumer insights, it is like making like a 5 question survey. So I mean, pretty much, question one. So what would you like to drink? A low calorie drink. You know, some things like that. So people will ask because I want to be skinny, because I don't want to feel guilty drinking like something with flavor. So I mean, and also, why would you prefer buying that drink instead of buying 2 liter Pepsi that is like a way cheaper? So I mean that's how we can like collect all the data, and we can simplify this section. That's what I think. So maybe like I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of. Let me just check something.
What if we actually read this the third and the fourth point, and maybe the five, and then come up with ideas? Because what I see here in the second point is that we actually have most of the work assigned for this week's discussion board, except by this one, current consumer ideas about your focus business. This will be used in your SWOT analysis below. So all these questions or all these bullet points are included in this week's assignment. So if we complete that assignment and in the discussion board, we work on that, I think we are going to have most of the information that we need. And also, I think that we can go to external sources to find more information about this company because um, this we have a limited resources in regards to people that may take that drink. For example, I'm from Colombia, just living here in South Carolina, like a month, and I just met this brand this month. I'm not sure about Kevin. You live in Guatemala, and
Yes.
if you have access to that drink, so maybe we can do comparing different drinks, kind of drinks in our countries, such as Guatemala and Colombia, or in our context. But that has to be done in the fifth point on this workshop. So
Yeah.
let's go step by step. I think for the second point, what I see is that we have actually worked in all the information from this week's discussion board assignment. I'm not sure if you're right with that. If you are okay, agree with that.
Yes, because the point, it says at the beginning of the point, which is this section will apply concepts from lesson 2 to your focus business. So we must answer the first 5 questions based on the information we have so far and the research that we just made for this brand. Then the 5th point in this one, which is looking for the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, is what we will be addressing in our interviews. So if you want, we can move on to the number 3, to the competitive environment.
Okay, who wants to read the number 3?
I will. The internal and external marketing environments learned about in lesson 1. You will perform a SWOT analysis as outlined in lesson 1 on your focus business they may be competing against. Use this information as you consider your own brand positioning. See slides 18 to 22 from lesson 1 PowerPoint.
Mm.
Okay, so we need to come up with a competitor and do a SWOT analysis on that as well.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, all right. So pretty much the point point number 2 is the middle of the project. So if we have like a really good information from the number 2 question, we can develop pretty much everything.
Yeah, I do see that we have to work very well on the information for this week's assignment. So just don't come up with superfluous things. We can go deep into the question that we are asked this week in the discussion board. Maybe we have to come up with all the information. We have to read the group on assignment and all that stuff. But after that, we can go to external sources. Maybe Google information about the company, about the brand we have chosen, come up with more further and deeper information to build up a final paper for this second point. So this second point will give strength to all the 2.3 and maybe to 0.4 because this is market segmentation, targeting, and positioning. But I think that we have not studied that yet.
And the consumer validation, point number 5.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the consumer validation pretty much is where we will have to do the interviews.
Yes, because what the project is about, guys, it's on number 1. Just we need to make a summary of what the company is all about, just to give a clear understanding and explanation about the brand we chose. Then on point number 2, we will gather all the information we can about this company. Then on number 3, we will develop a SWOT analysis based on, the SWOT analysis will state the strengths, weaknesses, the opportunities and threats that this company faces. Then on point number 4, we will create a hypothesis, because it says in this section you will make the best approximation you can regarding the consumer segments that would have some possible interest in your product or service. Then you will explain which segments you will target and write a brand positioning statement that will position the brand to be the most compelling to those targets. And then on consumer validation, it says develop your own hypothesis regarding the information in number 2, 3, and 4, and then use qualitative research to get feedback on your strategy and fine tune in. Meaning, step 2, 3, and 4, it's to give our own point of view. And then on number 5, we will we will prove our hypothesis based on the interviews we will be addressing.
Cool. So, uh, well, I was wondering about the time that we have. Uh, this assignment, this project should be for week 6, which is the week between October the 22nd and October 27th. So
Yes.
we have just 2 weeks and a half to work with all this information. But as being said, if we have this second point, very, very good, with all the good information, great information that we can find on the internet and deep research, I think that it's gonna be easier for us to come up with the competitive environment, market segmentation, targeting and positioning. We have to study a little bit more about this, and
Hey,
then finally come with this. Yes.
hey, Lisa. Question: where do you live?
Yes, I live in California,
Oh, California. Okay.
U.S.
Have you seen a product over there or no?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, a lot,
I was
right?
just looking at it. Six carbs in the drink.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, because I have seen it here. I mean, like here in Jersey, you can find it in like a Villas, or I mean, like you can find it in like a a convenience a store next door. So it is
Uh-huh.
like a very like a popular drink. So and also, I mean, like a weekend. I mean, I can like try to, I will try to purchase different flavors, and also because there is like a two kinds, the bubbly drink and also the regular drink.
Mm-hmm.
So we can like, I can make like a test, with my family. Hey guys, so drink it. So and please, give me your feedback.
Okay. Yes, I think that we can do that. Here in South Carolina, I can have access next door in the next block to that drink. So we can come up with that to as our families and friends to taste the product. But we have first to work on this in order to
Mm-hmm.
develop our own hypothesis. We have to
Okay.
develop all the information we need here first. So I think since for this week we had to work a lot
Okay.
on this information on point 2. Uh, I'm not sure if we can work in a calendar, like set up some goals
Yeah,
to
we can
divide
put
the
a
work.
deadline.
Okay.
So I mean, like, so because okay, so for the step number 2, so pretty much, we're saying that we have to do some kind of like a survey with people, or kind of like trying to get more information about the product, right?
Yes, we have to get more
Not a
information.
survey with other people, right?
Sorry?
Are we doing this answering the discussion posts questions, or are we doing the surveys this week?
All right, okay, I got you. Yeah, because Kevin and I already post, our thoughts, but I thought that was gonna be kind of like kind of like general.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, I can add extra knowledge about it, so I can like hell try to get in my family, and try to taste the product.
Yeah. Okay. So what if we work on the discussion board for this week and come with all information we can? You can ask your family about this product to
Okay.
perform the surveys, and also we can find different sources to get more information about the company itself. I can also check the marketing strategies they have. I think that if we read that information, this will give us more understanding about what the focus the company has, uh, what are the just let me read this thing. Well, competitive brands, because when I thought about competitive brands or products, the first thing that I thought it was water. So because I can have water, 0 calories, 0 carbs, zero everything. So why this drink is different? Just because of the flavor, what it has to offer me. So we can go over that. And also, uh, well, I was reading about the company. They had pretty pretty interesting marketing strategy, because the
They
first
have,
way,
they have
as I understand,
music videos all over.
sorry,
They have music all on the website.
yeah,
Different artists. So like,
yeah, and you can find the products on Amazon. You can find the products in convenience stores and in supermarkets. But this is a really fast growing company uh, that is fighting in an industry of sugar, high sugar.
So now, what do you think if we create
I think that we're going to have
on
the
Google?
structure for the rest of the project. I don't know what's happening with the
So
computer.
Kevin, you were saying creating what?
What if we create a Google Drive document, such as a Word document on Google, so we can share in Drive, and during this upcoming week, we can start uploading our thoughts and the information we found. So by next week, when we meet again, we are able to discuss everything that we gathered so far, so we can structure step 1 through step 4. So we can work out on the concepts, the research we made, and all of that by next week. So for the next week, we can address the 5 interviews based on the document we may have by next week. What do you think if we do so?
Ooh, I like that. I like it. Yeah, I think like
yeah,
I think like Josman already created, a page, for
Yes,
Google
Okay.
Drive.
I'm just going to share again in the through
Okay.
email. Okay, but I already created that. And I agree with your idea. I actually like your idea. So we can work this week on that, and next Wednesday we can talk about the insights we have and build up
Yes.
all the structure of the project. And after that, work on the interviews and the surveys, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, other things that we think that we can
Yeah.
do for improving the project.
Cool.
Yep, like it.
Okay, what
So
do you
if you
think,
can
Lisa?
share the link, that'll be great.
I will do. I'll do that right now. Just let me stop, because that is like internet and
Okay.
computer resources.
And Lisa, what do you think about that idea?
it's great.
Yeah, so that way I think as we go by the week, we can upload some research information we found, what we thought about the SWOT analysis, for example, if you want to answer one question and someone else wants to add some insight to that answer. So next week we can summarize all of the content in that document, so we can come up with the final hypothesis that we will be addressing on the depth interviews we will be having.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that will be all.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then next week at what time would you like to meet? At the same time or a little bit early?
Okay.
I'm awake
Wednesdays
all
is,
night.
I mean, our assignments are due at 9 o'clock, meaning at 8 to 9 is like, I don't know if you guys want to meet earlier or later.
So I think that this meeting is not related to the assignments itself. So we can actually I'm happy. I have actually 12 p.m. here, and this schedule works for me because next week I'm going to travel. So next week, this schedule will work for me.
Okay, so 9 again. So is it fine for you, Lisa, next Wednesday at 9? Well, 9 Mountain Time.
So
Okay,
that would
and what about
be
you, Irvin?
9 Mountain, 8 Pacific time.
So Irvin, are you
Okay.
there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so does it work for you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Mountain Time?
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so then
Okay.
just let's work on the research. Go ahead.
Yes, let's work on the research. I'm going to share the document again. We have a WhatsApp group, Lisa, but I saw that you don't have WhatsApp. So I'm texting you.
I see you don't have what?
WhatsApp? Do you have WhatsApp?
Oh, no.
On the app for texting.
I don't know what that is. No.
Maybe you
I gave
can.
everybody my cell phone to text me.
I will text you. He can text you. So.
Okay, so I think we are done for tonight then.
Yep.
Okay, so then thank you guys for meeting tonight, and see you next week then at the same time.
See you next week, guys.
Yes.
Take care.
Have a good night.